So now that I had my Tarm Gasification boiler for about a year now, the question is, worth all the work? Cut up this slab wood into firewood, split it, and we're going to answer that question at the end of the video. We'll go down to the boiler, take a look at the boiler, and we'll talk about it. This is a new way that I found late last year of cutting this slab up, making it a little easier to cut up. I used to get up on that pile and try to just cut it up. That was a disaster. Now I strap a load onto the front of the tractor. I have a wood sizer that I hook on the end of the chainsaw. I size out the size of each cut. Then I go back and cut it up. So now we're down at the boiler. There's a load that will fill up the firebox. So that's how much slab it takes to fill up that firebox. Now that load, once the boiler is up to temperature of 180 degrees, will last roughly 4 hours of burning. So here I'm going to show you stacking the firewood into the firebox, and then we're going to light it here in a little bit, and we'll see how this thing burns.
She's too hot to handle.
Like I said, that load will burn roughly 4 hours once the boiler temperature's up. That's quite a bit of firewood stacked in there. That's quite a bit of slab, and this is pine slab that we're burning here. Mostly spruce. There's some yellow pine, some white pine in there, but this is all pine at this point. And there's a full load. Pretty much a full load. So we're going to light it up now. What I use is a torch. Stick the torch up in there to the bottom of that wood and just let it burn for a little bit. And that seems to be the easiest way to light this fire. While we're waiting for that to light up, I'll take you inside the house. This fire has been out since I load up before I go to bed. It burns 4 hours, so it's been out since 2 or 3 in the morning. And the house temperature is today around 68, 69 degrees, and it was in the 20s last night. So the house holds pretty good, and it's 5 after 9 in the morning when I start this up again. So that's how I run this boiler right now in this kind of temperature. Actually, I was getting up at night. The first time I fired this boiler, I was getting up at night to load it up, but that became a pain pretty fast, and something I really didn't like. So I found out as long as the temperatures aren't down in the teens or 0, I can let the fire burn until it goes out at night, catch it in the morning, and as you've seen, the house temperature still comfortable. So then I come out and fire it up in the morning before I get out and start doing whatever else I'm going to do that day. Up pretty good. And then I turn on the fan to the boiler and let the bottom door open a little bit, and you can see that the passage to the flue, that black knob up there left, is open. So everything's going right up the flue right now, and that lets the fire catch up pretty good before I close that. And once I close that, that's when the boiler starts to gasify. Waiting for that to catch up a little more. I'm going to scrape out the ashes in the bottom. You can see how fine those ashes are. This thing burns up to a powder, so it burns the wood up pretty complete. And I don't get a full, you can see that container I'm scraping into, I don't get a full container. I can go a week or more before I fill up the container. So that's how well this thing burns up wood. Now I'm going to close. I closed that top to block off the flue. Now it's forcing the fire down into the fire chamber, the ceramic fire chamber. And you can see it started to gasify. You can see what kind of flame you get down there when it's burning right. And we'll watch that flame for a little bit because it improves even more. Now we'll take a look outside. You can see the water temperature is only right 80 some degrees in that boiler because it was cold out last night, but you seen the house temperature was still good. There, a couple seconds later, opened up again to take a look. You can see how hot that's burning down there. They say over 2,000 degrees. Now we'll take a look, go outside and take a look at the flue. And this is how I really determine whether the boiler's working or not. You know, if I'm out working and I look down at the house, I can look at the flue and see whether it's burning right. What you should have here is no visual smoke. If that's gasifying, it's burning all that smoke up. So this is telling me that the boiler is gasifying. You can see the heat coming out of up there, but you don't really see any smoke. So this is working good. All satisfied with burning slab in this boiler.